Here's a question to fire up your imagination. What do you think happens when you try to drive across Texas, one of the biggest states in the whole country, in just 24 hours? Spoiler alert, it's not just long highways and empty deserts. It's an epic adventure packed with wild surprises, miles of changing landscapes, and more Texas-sized moments than you'd ever expect. Y'all buckle up, because today I'm sharing the story of my 24-hour race across the Lone Star State, and I promise you'll never look at Texas the same way again. Howdy y'all, and welcome back to the Lone Star Plate. If you're hungry for Texas tales served up straight, you're in the right place. Today, I'm diving into one of the most ambitious things I've ever attempted, driving across Texas from border to border, start to finish, in just one day. That's right, 24 hours to conquer nearly 900 miles of rugged beauty, quirky pit stops, small-town charm, and breathtaking horizons. Stick around, because I found more than just mile markers on this journey. I discovered just how massive, magical, and downright unpredictable Texas can be. Now, let's set the scene. When folks talk about a road trip across Texas, most folks think of classic drives. Dallas to Houston, Austin to San Antonio, maybe a swing out to the hill country. But I wanted to push the limits. My challenge? To leave the Louisiana border at sunrise and pull up at the New Mexico state line before the sun set again, all within one wild, sleepless day. Now, driving through Texas is not like crossing Rhode Island or even Georgia. Out here, towns can be 100 miles apart, and you'll pass more cattle than people for half the journey, but every inch is bursting with character. And let me tell you, no GPS, no website, and no travel blog can prepare you for what Texas throws at you when you try to conquer it in a single day. I kicked things off in the piney woods of East Texas, right on the Sabine River. At 6 a.m., with the mist still rising above the water, I could smell honeysuckle and hear the soft thrum of cicadas. But I barely had time to soak it all in before I hit Highway 20 and started heading west. The first leg brought me through sleepy towns like Marshall, with its old brick courthouse, and Longview, where the local donut shop gave me my first taste of Texas hospitality. Hot, sweet, and sprinkled with good morning smiles. But the scenery started changing fast. Those thick forests gave way to rolling pastures dotted with cattle and oil rigs, and the sweet twang of country music on the radio seemed to fit the mood just right. I cruised into Dallas around mid-morning, bracing for the infamous traffic. Let me tell you, sailing under those towering skyscrapers in the Reunion Tower while dodging trucks and sports cars made for a heart-pounding hour that had me wide-eyed and white-knuckled on the steering wheel. But here's the first twist. Dallas wasn't the biggest slowdown. It was the small towns on the other side. Once you blast through Fort Worth, the urban sprawl dissolves into open fields and wind-swept plains. Miles seem to stretch and bend as you leave big city life behind. I stopped in Weatherford for a kolache, those pillowy pastries that only taste right in Texas, and realized I'd already crossed time zones. Texas is so wide it actually spans two. As I sped west, the colors changed, from the mossy greens of the east to the dusty golds and rust-red soils of the high plains. This wasn't just a drive, it was like flipping through the pages of a geography book in real time. Every hour brought something new. Pecan groves gave way to wind farms, and the sky somehow got bigger with every passing mile. Now, people always ask me, did you see cowboys? Did you really see wild road runners darting alongside your car? Y'all, The answer is yes. Somewhere outside Abilene, as I chomped on some jerky from a roadside stand, I watched a cowboy wrangle a calf while the West Texas wind whipped around him. Not a tourist show, just another Tuesday out there. But that's not all. Somewhere near Sweetwater, something truly wild happened. I thought it was mirage at first, but as I crested a rise, I caught sight of the largest wind farm in the entire United States, blades spinning like giant silver crosses in the sun. The sight is almost spiritual, so vast and powerful, it makes you realize how tiny you are in the grand scheme of Texas. Lunch was a quick barbecue sandwich in Big Spring. Pro tip, in West Texas, sauce comes second. The real star is the slow smoked brisket, butcher paper and all. By now, I'd been driving for over 8 hours. The clock was ticking, and that big, endless blue sky kept on pulling me west. Heading into Midland and Odessa, that famous Texas oil country, you can practically smell the black gold in the air. Pump jacks dot the horizon like prairie chickens. And you remember just how vital Texas is to the country's energy heartbeat. But here's the kicker. Even in the roughneck towns, folks flash a warm grin when you roll in. That's the secret sauce across the Lone Star State. 10 gallons of grit, but a whole lot of heart. The stretch from Odessa to Pecos is one of the loneliest on earth. It's just you, the radio, the occasional 18-wheeler, and more sky than seems possible. Somewhere in there, between sips of gas station coffee, it dawned on me, Texas isn't just big. It's relentless, unpredictable, and beautiful in ways you don't see coming. Finally, as the sun dipped orange behind dusty hills, I rolled into the tiny town of Anthony, gateway to New Mexico, but still proud to be Texas. My odometer had racked up nearly 900 miles. My playlist had played everything from Willie to ZZ Top, and I'd officially made it. 24 hours, border to border, from pine trees to desert sands. Now, I gotta ask y'all, if you had just one day to drive across Texas, where would you stop? Would you go hunting for the world's best brisket, check out the Cadillac Ranch, or get lost in a ghost town? Drop a comment down below and tell me your dream Texas road trip route, your must-stop pit stops, or the wildest thing you've ever seen on a Texas highway. And hey, smash that like button if you love a good road trip, and hit subscribe so you never miss a story from deep in the heart of Texas. So, what did I learn in one crazy, gas-guzzling, eye-opening day? Driving across Texas isn't about how fast you go, it's about how much you take in along the way. The flavors, the folks, the sky so wide it swallows your worries whole. That's what makes Texas more than just a place on the map. It's an adventure, every mile marker of it. Thanks for hitting the road with me today on the Lone Star Plate. Until next time, keep the windows down, the BBQ smoky, and that Texas spirit wide open. Y'all take care now.